What's up, everybody? Jake from StratGeeks coming at you once again with another video. And what you're seeing on the screen right here is a 180-day backtest for ORS Fusion on the 1-minute MNQ chart with 2 micros. So I just wanted to start the video out by showing that because it's pretty sweet. Also pretty sweet that we do achieve 95% accurate backtesting to live results. And we do that because we do not use market orders, we do not use auto trailing stops, and we do not use auto break evens in our backtest. You use any one of those 3 things, all 3 or any one of them, you might as well just throw your backtest out. And I can say that from lots of experience designing strategies like that. We do not use market orders, so we use limit orders only. And you can, if you'd like, you can set up ORS to use auto trails or auto break evens. However, for back testing, we never use auto trails or auto break evens. So if you sign up with us, you will get this exact template, the same exact template that I use and that our limited amount of subscribers use as well. So just wanted to start off by sharing that. And then what I really want to talk about in this particular video is risk management. So let's talk a little bit about our risk smoothing. And we're also going to talk about our max losses per day. So the first thing I want to bring up is, what is this risk smoothing at all in general? So I went and I scrolled back through our 6 months of backtest data here. We don't go past 6 months of data because contract rollovers, data gaps, all that stuff gets pretty bad after 6 months. So we try to stick with either a 90-day backtest or a 6-month backtest. That's our control. And, that gets us, let's go back to the backtest here real quick so you can see our data set, like how much data, how many trades do you really need to see? We got 629 trades on the 1-minute chart. That's plenty of data. So, and the farther you go back in time, the less accuracy you have with a backtest. So my whole priority is to be as accurate as humanly possible with the backtest. Therefore, we don't go past 6 months. So yeah, 90 days, 180 days, something like either one or the other of those. So what is this risk smoothing that I'm talking about in the videos? So I scrolled back and I found this opening range here on whatever day this is, I don't know, a few months ago. And let's go and expand this chart a little bit. So this is the start of the day right here, obviously at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we consider our opening range the first 15 minutes of market action. So from 9:30 to 9:45, right there. And you can see we put in, let's go ahead and just zoom in even more on this. Let's get rid of this box here. So as we open up, we put a low in here. Then we put a high in and a high and then a high, and then we do come down, we put in a lower low, but this low ends up holding all the way. And then we put in this final high here. So we got our lowest low and our highest high in the first 15 minutes of the market. That is our official ORS opening range. You can also kind of look at it like it's the first 15-minute bar, I suppose. And the approximate distance from this lowest low to the highest high is 208 ticks. So this is a smaller opening range day. I'd say on average lately we're at like 275 or so. And with this particular template, we don't take trades if it's under 100 tick opening range, and that'd probably be a federal holiday or something anyway. So under 100 ticks we're not allowed to trade, and over 550 ticks this template will not trade. So we have that window between 100 and 550 ticks where we're allowed to start taking trades. Now we're in backtest mode, So we got these hash marks here. And what these hash marks indicate is the split up of our opening range. We split the opening range into 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have this cool fib tool that I can use in backtest mode because we just plot these hash marks in backtest mode. In live, these lines will be plotted out all the way. But in backtest mode, to save memory, we just do it like this manually. This is for educational purposes, or if you want to go back and check the trades of the day, you can do that with this tool, and you sign up and you'll get this tool as well, obviously. You also get a full, usually over an hour, Zoom meeting with me. And we set everything up and make sure it's all, well, at least give you a chance to set up stuff on your own. But the idea with the Zoom meeting is to screen share, I'll take mouse control, and I want to really make sure that every single thing is set up perfectly on your machine. I'll have a sip of my coffee here. So we got our high and our low opening range, about 208 ticks. Now ORS will calculate this exactly, and you'll get a little green button down here that says OR equals. Yesterday happened to be 516 ticks, which is a very large opening range. So we got our split up here, 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. Now each section is going to be, 208. Where's my calculator? So 208 divided by 4 sections is 52 ticks. So this deviation here from high to low of this range level, if you will, is 58, 53 ticks. I'm not going to get stuff exact with the measuring, but you get the point. And what we're doing is we're looking for not one range level, but 2 range levels. I call them SDs. 2 range levels for a target. And we can see down here, we get an entry short right here and a target. 2 range levels. So let's take that 208 ticks, the full opening range of 208 ticks, divided by 2 would probably be this fastest way, second fastest way we could do it, equals 104 ticks. So from the entry to the target is going to be 108 ticks. Now I didn't get, oh, look at that, I got up one tick. Now we want to add, when we get into the risk management stuff, we want to figure out that 108 ticks, how many dollar bills is that going to be worth? Well, we know on the micro NASDAQ, each one of these 108 ticks is worth 50 cents. So we can simply just do times 50 cents equals $54. So each trade here on this particular day, this short right here, $54. And then this trade here, $54. And then we have a loss here, this short, minus $54, etc., 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 and so on. You can see that short right there was a loss. Now, what else can we do with this now that we know what each trade on this particular day is worth? It's a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. We're making $54 or we're losing $54. Nothing in between. So what can we do with that number? Well, we can decide maybe we want to risk more than $54 on this particular day, which is normally what I do. I'm not going to just risk the 54. I would rather risk, let's get the calculator back out again. So that's one micro. So times 2 micros is $108. That sounds good. I usually like to risk between $100 and $150 per trade. I trade nice and slow and steady. Nothing wrong with a $100 trade. You end up the day with 3-4 winners. That's a $324 day. Say you got 10 PA accounts. That's a $3,000 day, only risking $100 per trade. Nothing wrong with that. So just again to recap, Now we're going to go over a bigger day too. So we got 208 tick opening range. And the fastest way to do this math is just divide by 4. Divide by 4, and we got that oh. Well, I think I was off by, was it 208? 208 divided by 2 is $104 times 50 cents. Each trade is $52. I don't know why I wrote 54 there, whatever. 52 bucks. And on this particular day, I'm going to risk 2 micros for 104 actually. Sorry, I was off by $4 there. I don't know. It must have been a typo or something. So what I do is I come into the strategy. Now that I know I want to risk 2 micros on this day, I'll disable the strategy, click apply, scroll down a little bit, and just put a 2 in here. There happens to already be a 2. But maybe I wanted to risk 3 micros on that day. I put a 3 in there. So on 3 micros, it would be $52 per micro times 3, $156, which is, you know, on a 50K account with a $2,500 available drawdown, $156 probably fine. So maybe I want to risk 3 on this 208 tick opening range day. Totally fine, especially if you got a fresh drawdown left and things are looking good. Yeah, so let's say on this 208 tick day, the fastest way to do this math is just divide by 4. Then you get that $52. Just happens to be how the math works out. So say on this day I actually did want to end up risking 3 micros for $156. I'm going to allow myself to go over that 150 mark by $6. Okay? So this is a smaller opening range now. Now, let's go and look at a larger opening range day. So we're scaling up on this small day. And we might want to scale down on a bigger day. Now, these are supposed to be $52. I screwed up. All good, though. Let's find that big day I marked it earlier. I think it's out this way. There it is. All right, so let's talk about this day. Let's clear all of our drawing tools. Drawing tools. Remove all. Okay. Now you can already tell how much bigger. This day over here was probably so big that we weren't even going to trade it. 786 ticks. Too big to trade. Let's look at that day actually. Yeah, it was just massive drop at the open. There's our highest high, and it just drops. And 786 ticks or so. So we're not trading that day. The probabilities that we come out green on days over 550 ticks are not as high. So therefore, we just don't trade them. But most days, there's very few days that are over 550 ticks. And it's okay to sit out every once in a while. Part of being disciplined. All right, so let's talk about this day. What do we got here? Here's our highest high of that opening range. Market opens here, remember? Here's our highest high. And we drop. There's our lowest low. Let's zoom in a little. Now remember, we're using 3 contracts on that 208 tick opening range day. How many contracts do we want to use on this day? Let's see what the opening range is. There's our highest high. There's our lowest low. 527 ticks. So that is almost to the edge of what we're allowed to trade. So let's do the quick version of the math. 526 ticks. All we got to do is just divide that by 4 to figure out what 1 micro is worth on this particular day of 527 ticks. Equals $131. Now, if I'm not allowing myself to really go above 150, I have to only use 1 micro on this day. Otherwise, if I'm using 2 micros, that blasts all the way up way past my limit of 150. Now we're at $263. Maybe it'd be fine, I don't know, but I'm conservative, so I'd rather just use 1 micro on that day. So we'll go ahead and draw our fib tool in. We'll line up the SD lines right here. Now we can see that this entry to this target, 258 ticks. That's a big trade on the NASDAQ 1 minute. No, I didn't get that math perfect, but you can see, say it was 258 times 50 cents. Yeah, $129. That's a $129 trade. Do I really want to risk 2 micros on a 50K, on a tiny little 50K account? Do I really want to list 258? Now, if you have a 150K account, $129 per micro on a 150K account, geez, maybe you want to do 387. And on that small opening range day, that 208 tick, 5 by 4, each trade on that small day that we just looked at previously was only $52. You know, maybe there we want to actually risk 7 contracts if we're using a 150K account. So this is how we can smooth our risk over the course of our trading days based on if the opening range is really big or really small or basically anything in between, and we can kind of average out our risk, pump up your contracts a little bit higher on the small opening range days, and deflate the contracts a little bit, can't go lower than 1, on the larger opening range days. Now, I got a whole bunch of other videos that explain how the strategy works, why it takes its trades, how it takes its trades. Definitely go check those out. But I want to just show you, maybe I'll put a little pop-up in the corner on a, yeah, I'll put a little pop-up up here for the, if I remember, for the other video. So let's look at real-time and historical. So this is with 2 micros. And you don't even need to use 2 micros. And honestly, some days are going to be 2 micros, some days are going to be 1, some days might be 4. So in thinking about things that way, you can take the number of winning trades, 390, minus the losing trades of 239. That gives us a total net wins over the course of 6 months of $151. Now, say on average, you wanted to risk $150 per trade. Well, that gets you up to $22,650 minus, I don't know, let's call it $1,600 in commissions. That still gets you right around that $2,100 range. So you can just run it on the 2. But personally, I would rather scale, especially the most important thing for me is scaling down on the bigger opening range days. If I want to run one micro on a smaller opening range days, that's one thing. I'm not that concerned about that. But on the bigger opening range days, if I just got a 50K account, like here on this one. So let's talk about the max losses too in this video. Let's go ahead. So if we're using, so say this is a 200, and where's my calculator? Let's get that back here. So we got a 527 tick opening range divided by 4. Each micro is worth $131. If we're using 2 micros there, that's $263 per trade. Now, that's way above my 150. But speaking more to the max losses allowed per day now. So we have a setting in strategies, the ORS strategy, or if you scroll down a little bit, oh, actually, we don't need to scroll down. It's right here. So we have a max net wins or a max net losses. So we don't have it checked for wins. We can get as many wins as we want. But if we get 3 losses, it will stop trading. However, the sequence orders itself. If we have a win and then a loss, that's a break even, and then a loss, now we're 1 down, then another loss, now we're 2 down, then a win, now we're 1 down, and then a loss, 2 down, a loss, 3 down. So that hypothetical day would be 3 net losses and the system would stop trading. So this is the most important number for me to keep me calm, I guess, while I'm trading. So I know that there is no way that I'm going to be done with the day and have more than 3 losses at the end of the day. So knowing that, if I was using 2 micros on this bigger day with a 50K account, so times 3 losses before it stops trading, that's $790 drawdown. That's too much for me personally to cope with in a reasonable way emotionally. And then you got to add commissions on that too, so you can probably add $50 worth of commissions maybe. Oops, 790. I'll call it $25. 790 plus $25. Oh, my calculator's not working. 790 plus $25 in commissions. Now you're over $800. Rather not. I'd rather do 527 divided by 4. That's 1 micro on my 50K account. $131 trade. Now I can lose up to 3 trades before the system stops trading. In this worst case scenario, I always look at the worst case scenario before anything else. Making money's one thing. Losing money's a whole other. I want to preserve my capital. Times 3. So at the most, I'm going to lose about $400 at the end of the day. And you could add another 25 for commissions. So you're still under $425, which is way better on a 50K account, which you can handle that. I can handle that. I can accept a $400 loss at the end of the day. You know, now on that smaller day, that 208 tick opening range day that we talked about earlier, now we divide it by 4. That's $52. Divide, and then say we wanted to use 3 micros on that day. That's $156 per trade. And this is going to be, I actually probably would end up doing just 2 micros on that day. But if we did 3, then you'd have to, worst case scenario, you could have 3 losses times 3 losses before it stops trading automatically for you. $468 plus commissions $500. So it's $500 drawdown on that particular day. I can deal with that. 208. I'd rather deal with this though. Divided by 4. I'd rather just do 2 micros on that day for $104. Times my 3 max losses is $312. Plus commissions, call it $350. 12, 35, 40. Yeah, maximum $350 loss with 2 micros on a 208 tick opening range day. So I hope that makes sense, everybody. Just wanted to go over that stuff in some detail. And I do want to talk about one more thing before we go. So I work with ChatGPT a little bit on some images and basically why knowing your exact daily risk changes everything in trading. Because it really has for me. I am so much more comfortable now throughout the trading day knowing that it's impossible for me to lose more than 3 trades, 3 net losses in any particular day. And I'll even take that number and I'll have an extra safeguard. I'll take that, whatever that 3 loss is. So in this case, the 208 day with 2 micros would be $312 plus 25 in commissions. I'll take this 337, call it 340, this $340 number, and I'll go to my R Trader Pro, back in, set up a loss limit of $340 on each and every single account as a reserve parachute in case of a data loss, or maybe it fills 2 out of the 3 orders and I'm not paying attention, or there's a crazy, some kind of event that happens and it starts blowing through stop losses. No way am I going to lose more than $340, even with a data breach or of some kind. So let's talk about it. Why knowing your exact daily risk changes everything in trading. Number one, emotional control. Trading can be an emotional roller coaster, as we know, especially when faced with unexpected losses. And there it is right there. Like, I want as much certainty in this uncertain thing that we do as I possibly can. And one thing that is certain is I'm not going to lose more than 3 trades before the system stops trading, period. So knowing your exact daily risk helps me stay calm and focused, removing the fear of the unknown, or at least some of the fear. When you understand the worst case scenario up front, you're less likely to make impulsive decisions. So true. Number 2, confidence and execution. Confidence comes from clarity. It really does. I feel so much more clear using a max loss limit. And to have ORS set up where it's adjusted for the particular type of trading day that it is, if it's a big opening range or a small opening range, our weather forecast for the day, it just, all the pieces fit together to make so much sense for me. Confidence comes from clarity. When you know your daily risk is capped, example 3 trades per day or a set dollar amount, we have both actually, you can execute your strategy without second guessing yourself. This confidence often leads to better adherence to the plan and improved performance. So I think some people come in, they're like, oh, ORS is too good to be true. It seems too easy. Well, let me tell you, it's not as easy as it looks, because there's still, I have made a whole video on the psychology of automated trading. There are some psychological hurdles that you're going to need to overcome if you're not used to automated trading. You know, you got to learn to let go. You got to learn not to touch things, all sorts of stuff. So at I messed with the pictures. I forgot the pictures. Number 2, confidence and execution. Pretty cool little thing that ChatGPT made here. Number 3, preventing over trading. Without a daily risk limit, it's easy to fall into the trap of chasing losses or revenge trading, which I have definitely done. Not since ORS, though. Knowing your exact daily risk forces you to step away when the limit is hit. It doesn't really force you. You still got to make sure you don't mess with stuff. You can go in and you can blow accounts if you want, but it definitely helps. Helps in preserving your account for future opportunities. Number 4, consistency. Really cool graphic that chat made for us on this one. Isn't that awesome? It's like Jacob's ladder. Hey, my name's Jacob. Number 4, consistency. Successful trading isn't about winning big. So true. It's about staying consistent. When you know your daily risk, you can plan your trades with precision and maintain steady performance over time. Consistency leads to long-term profitability. So true. Minimizing anxiety. This is it right here. Man, so much less anxiety knowing what my dollar amount risk is per day. Trading is stressful. Yes, it is. But it's significantly less so when you know your exact financial exposure each day. This clarity allows you to approach the markets with a clear head, reducing mental strain and therefore improving decision making. And number 6 is a really good one. Scalability. Way easier to scale this way. Knowing your daily risk makes it easier to scale your strategy. Absolutely. How else could you possibly even do it? Whether you're trading 1 micro or scaling up that 1 micro to 10 or 20 accounts, or using 2 micros, your framework remains intact. Now, ORS enables us to have a very quantifiable, well thought out and planned risk management strategy. This scalability ensures that you can grow your trading without losing control. Number 7, preserving your capital. Trading without a defined risk is a fast track to blowing your account. When you set a clear daily risk, you protect your capital from catastrophic losses. That's it right there. And you give yourself the chance to recover and grow. Give myself the chance to recover and grow, even if that recovery takes 5 days, even if that recovery takes 10 trading days. At least I give myself the chance. In summary, knowing your exact risk creates a foundation of discipline, consistency, and definitely confidence. It removes unnecessary stress, and I would add unnecessary uncertainty, protects your capital, and helps you stay focused on executing your strategy effectively. This single concept can transform the way you approach trading and lead to sustainable long-term success. Yeah, man. Yeah, oh, for sure. And yeah, if you're all interested in subscribing, let's do this. You can just go to, you can email me at onetraderjake@gmail.com. I don't respond really fast to emails. Or you can go to StratGeeks.com. Let's go ahead and go to StratGeeks.com. StratGeeks.com. Oh, there it is. Oh, look, I misspelled it. StratGeeks.com. So go to StratGeeks.com and then scroll down a little bit. Here's a NinjaTrader ecosystem webinar that we did a while back. And then join our Discord server right here. This will be the fastest way to get a hold of me. Join our Discord server, shoot me a DM. I think I might have used that same picture on my Discord. And then you can check out the website. But that's really all I want to say for today, folks. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day or night. And yeah, Jake from StratGeeks signing out.